Just tell a story, is what my piano teacher told me. It's not that easy, I wanted to say, but instead I just smiled and nodded like I usually do. On the outside, I was a statue, sitting cross-legged on the bench with a calm smile. Poised stature, I was an elegant pianist. On the inside, I wanted to grab my hair in my fist and rock back and forth and hyperventilate, possibly scream, most definitely freak out. Tell a story? Tell a story. Okay, I want you to visualize something with me here, all right? Notes, words. Notes as in those things that tell you which sounds to make, words as in the things that you can actually read and tell stories with. I didn't get it. But you know what? I tried. I pressed my finger down on that key and I said, okay, Mia, all we have to do here is think of something. So I thought. And I thought a little harder. And then I came up with the most profound idea. Oh my goodness, why did I not think of this before? This song is obviously about a leaf. Yeah, it was a leaf. I was excited though, okay? I played that second chord with vigor. Maybe I could I had come up with the main character of my story. Maybe I could do this after all. And I thought, all right, Mia, let's create a setting for my leaf. So it's autumn, right? And this leaf is tumbling across the pavement, and suddenly it's picked up by the wind and does a curly cue in the air, and yeah, that's all I got. So that was the first time I ever tried communicating ideas through piano. The second time I was asked to do this, I was a bit discouraged. I didn't think that I was capable of turning notes into words. I still tried. I got a bit better getting further into my leaf narrative than before, but it probably wasn't until like my fifth or sixth time that I decided to try something different. I looked at the different parts of the song that I was playing and came up with like a general idea of what I was gonna do beforehand instead of, creating it on the spot. I said, okay, this part reminds me of a ballerina. It's light and it's twinkly and it dances across the keys. This part, however, reminds me more like a fox or a thief. It keeps that light-footed tone, but in this time, more of a sneaky way. I got it. A ballerina thief. They dance through the crowd as light as a feather, pickpocketing people in the most elegant way that you can pickpocket a person. I played that song while this ballerina danced through my brain, and yes, I do admit that it was pretty hard to think of this character and this world while also desperately trying to remember which notes came after the next. But at the same time, it was so fun. Something clicked that day. It almost felt like I was playing the soundtrack to my own movie. Then the next time after that, my piano teacher didn't even have to ask me to create or think of a story, but I did anyway. And then the next time after that, and now, 2 years later, it's become such a hobby of mine, turning these songs into stories that piano songs often take too long to keep up with my racing mind. Nowadays, you'll often find me sitting on my couch with my eyes closed, listening to a song. I'll have my hands out in front of me like this as I zoom in and out of this virtual world in my head. I rotate the world so that I can get a better view of things, and I choreograph my characters to the beat of the song playing in the background. This idea is so important in my life now that I have built a vast, ever-expanding universe inside of my head. It's filled with different species, different characters, dimensional traveling, magic, you name it. My ever-growing number of characters each have their own connections, friendships, betrayals, relationships. There is so much here that no matter how many books I could write, there would always be more. And to think that all of this somehow blossomed from that one moment when my piano teacher told me to tell a story with my music. I thought I couldn't do it. That there was no possible way to convey an idea without the use of words or pictures. But it turns out I was just looking at it from the wrong angle. You see, words aren't the only way to communicate your ideas to others. Emotions are just as powerful storytellers, only they tell the story in a slightly different way. They give your mind the freedom to create your own version, your own personal mind universe, My ballerina thief might be your elegant fox prancing through the woods. Our characters and our worlds are different, yet they are connected to the ups and the downs, the crescendos, the decrescendos, the passion in the song. So today, I'm going to play you a story. To me, this song paints a picture of walking along a grand, mighty river flowing through the woods. As I play, I can see the white froth it creates as it flows in between tall trees and carves into rocks. I can hear the roar at the bottom of its waterfalls, breaking the still silence of everything else around me. And yet, when you least expect it, you find that this river has a soft, gentle side in which water merely trickles over rocks. It's an unpredictable river, and I follow it through its many twists and turns and shallow waters and falls, and finally, at the end of the song, I say goodbye to the river, walking deep into the woods, hearing it fade away from behind me. Yes, this is my story, based off of my experiences. However, you might have something completely different. Your river might cut through fields of tall grass waving in the wind. It might flow down a snow-covered mountain. It might be a magical rainbow river in which unicorns drink from. Let your imagination run wild. So I invite you to close your eyes, feel the water rushing through your mind, and join me in our adventure. This is Mighty River by Jennifer Lynn. Thank you.